So I'm walking through Tesco's with my friend Pratham and his dad. There's this girl walking down the aisle. Now keep in mind, this isn't the first time I've seen her. She's been going to my gym for a while, and I've noticed her a couple of times. When I'm walking in Tesco's, I turn to Pratham instantly after I see her, and I say, "That's my wife, man, that's my wife." And he continues to tell me to go up to her and ask for her number. And I tell him, okay, I'm gonna go do it. What do you think happened? I didn't go up to her. The time went by. This was a couple weeks before my Africa expedition for World Challenge with my friends and the school. We're in Africa. Me and one of my closest friends, Will, are sitting in a tent. This is about our relaxed time before we all have dinner and head off to bed. It's around that time. And I'm talking to Will about all this relationship, yada yada, all that kind of stuff. And I basically ask him, because he is in a relationship, a committed one, he's been in one for a while, and I asked him, how? I asked him this a couple of times before. I hadn't talked to a girl in 2 years at this point, so I was confused, and I wasn't sure how it all worked, so I asked him how. And he really condensed it down for me. He didn't really have an idea, he just said it kind of happens. And this level of confidence which you need for it to happen. And I guess you can make it happen based on the actions that you do and how you present yourself. So we talked about it and we tried to figure out a plan, right? Seems really childish now that I think about it, like figuring out a plan how to go talk to a girl, but I feel like this is the kind of situation some of you guys are in. And we were talking about it, and he was like, "Oh, you just go up to her, compliment her hair or whatever." And then I said something, and this was like Will's eureka moment. So the thing that I said was, "I haven't seen her smile before," and he had like a light bulb moment. He was like, "Oh shit, that's what you should do. That's what you should do. You should go up to her, compliment her on her smile." And I looked at him confused, and I was like, "Why?" And he looked at me and he said, "Well, think about it. If anyone else has gone up in the past and complimented her, no one would have complimented her smile, because no one's seen a smile before. So if you go up to her and compliment her smile, that's a unique compliment. That's going to make her think about you." And I thought, okay, maybe this has some smart idea behind it. I was like, oh shit, maybe this will work. And that was the end of that conversation for most of the trip. We're back in England. I go to the gym, first session back. Now it's not like I had no baseline confidence when it went to trying to get her attention. I was confused how to make it as smooth as possible and as make it not awkward at all. And there was a couple times with I got this leopard plush toy from Africa, and I had it with me in my bag when I went to gym, and I was showing my friends around me. One of my friends, Aston, he was there when I was benching, and I was showing him, and I saw my girl across me. Well, not my girl at the moment, but she was across me. And I was trying to get attention, like split seconds, like there's no way that she would have even caught it, but I thought she may have caught it, and I was getting like really fucking nervous about it. So I would get the plush toy, and I would like try to show it to her and be like, "Hey, look at this." I was such a degenerate, man. But yeah, I tried to do that. I'm pretty sure she didn't notice. She probably thought I was a fucking weirdo. And I left her there, and I did my session. Now the rest of the session I talked to Aston, and I told him that I needed to go up to this girl. And if I didn't, I don't think I would at any other point. So then we thought of a plan. And I got confused, because I wasn't really sure how to do it. And it was a mix of ideas and such, and I was like, fuck it, let me just do what I think. So we're standing near the exit because there's a dip kind of machine there. And she's walking out, she's about to leave. And I say to myself, fuck it, and I go up to her. Guess what I said? Guess how it went? I went up to her, said, excuse me, what's your name? She said her name. I said, oh, I'm Vanch, and I just wanted to say, you have a really nice smile. She said thanks in the most monotone voice possible. And I walked off. And she went on her way. The next time I went to speak to her was 5 months later.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
No. But it was about 5 months later. And in the time gap between, I would see her there often. I would try to catch eye contact, such and such, but it came to a point where I was just like, maybe this isn't going to happen. Until one night. This one night, I'm at the gym, I'm hitting my leg session, I'm coming near the end of it, I'm sitting round the cables, near the windows. I'm doing my ab crunches. She comes over and she asks if I'm using the other side. I said, nah, you're good, you can use the other side. And I thought, fuck it. What's the worst that could happen if I tried to talk to her? So, after she does a set, I said the most typical gym icebreaker. Had about 5 more. She said something like, I was like, oh, not even. We're sitting there for a second, staring at the wall in front of us. And I say, I'm sure you don't remember, but when I came up to you 5 months ago or so, I'm sorry for being really awkward. It was just, I was a bit nervous. She said to me, oh, it wasn't that awkward, it was fine. I was just laughing, going like, yeah, it definitely was. So then I started speaking to her, asking about her split. That's where just the conversation kept. It was going. It was still a bit awkward because it was the first time we actually properly talked to each other. And then, before she went to do her set, she said to me, you should probably follow me back on Instagram. And I smiled at her and I started laughing and I went, I don't have socials, I don't have Insta, Snap or whatever. She looked at me like I'm fucking crazy. And I was just like, maybe you should get my number instead. And then I went to do my set. As soon as we both sat down, she slides her phone over, I put my number in, there we go. And that all started because I decided to have a level of confidence to actually speak to her. Now, I think this video is really important in the sense about how much value having a level of confidence to go speak to girls is going to have. It's very easy to forget that they're also human beings as well. Even though we both have our biological differences, it's like they're also human. There's a saying, a quote I've heard a couple times, where it's being brave isn't the absence of fear. It's feeling fear but doing it anyways. And there's also this stigma around the fact that the more girls that you go up to, the easier it becomes to talk to them and the less scared you feel. I disagree. The reason I disagree is because I don't think you feel less scared. This is with anything. I don't think that the more you do something scary, the less scared you'll feel. You're still going to feel scared. The feeling's still there, but I think you grow the confidence in your abilities to push through whatever situation you're in that is scary. If you go down to the roots of the issue of why you're scared, the reason that you're ultimately scared is because you don't have the confidence in your abilities to solve the problem. So that's one way to infinitely grow your ability to push past things that can make you scared. It's to improve the confidence in your abilities and make yourself better. And that's entirely the point of self-improvement. When it came to speaking to girls, I hadn't spoken to girls in 2 years. And the reason I messed up the first time is because I thought it was something different than speaking to regular people, when that's certainly not the case. Over the course of those 2 years, I'd become incredibly better at articulating my speech and learning to actually make friends, speak to people, be a leader, have confidence in myself. And when it came to the situation where that mattered, I couldn't apply it because I thought it was different to every other situation I'd been in when it wasn't. I think the main concept to understand is that they're also people. No, don't talk to them exactly how you talk to your boys, but talk to them in a respectable manner about how you talk to someone if you were in a professional situation. Not as in like you're trying to do a meeting and again, project management meeting with them. It's like you're meeting a stranger and you're just asking about them. And you're talking to them. And the steps that you do from then on after that is completely different. But this is just the step one. So I'm hoping this helped some of you guys. Bit of relation to the experience that I've had. I hope it helps you develop a level of confidence in your own abilities so that you can eventually get to where you want to be. So, on that note, I'm out. Mwah.